Got everything. Print it. Print the whole thing. Great. Beautiful. Colt, that was fantastic.
Oh,
yes,
thanks.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Harlan. You're a hard man to please.
Well, it's just one thing. I think camera 3 missed your drop into the drink. But don't worry about it. We'll get it after lunch. Okay, that's lunch, everybody. Okay, everybody eat lunch.
After lunch? Burn it.
Aw, Colt, you've done some crazy things, but a dogfight between two Wright brothers rejects, how could you be so...
Brave?
Brave? No, I was thinking of stupid.
There was never any real danger, unless we ran out of fuel or hit some bad winds.
Yeah, well, according to Terry, if you two were as smart as you are brave, you'd be working with her.
Did you get that information she had for us?
Yeah, sure. Okay, now the one on the left is Greg Kaminsky. He's a notorious jewel thief. And the one on the right is Don Ross, a big-time con man.
Looks like they're having a high old time.
Yeah, talk about high times. Well, Kaminsky would rip off people's jewelry, while Ross would collect the reward for seeming to recover it. Well, now Terry needs her money back. They both jumped bail for $50,000 each.
Any idea where they are?
Acapulco.
Acapulco? Great! Tropical climate, beautiful ladies.
Ah, rich men. Rich men? Oh, Cole, can I go on this one, please?
Judging from this picture, Kaminsky and Ross have a real eye for the ladies. And you know, Jody, if you were rigging a stunt, would you leave your best asset behind?
Ow!
Thank you very much. Makes you feel glad you're in show business when you hear something like that. And incidentally, you'd be surprised how many people come up to me and they say, George, how did you happen to get in show business? And some of them even ask me why. Sometimes I wonder myself with the start I got. You know, it was right after the war, and I wanted to be in show business. You remember the war.
I know. I owe you an apology.
But anyway, right after...
I didn't mean to be late, but something came up.
And I finally got a job, and the agent booked me.
Please, Sabrina, you know how business is. My partner called. Don's a real nervous guy, always worried about something. Today is mining gear.
In the middle of winter that maybe they're trying to tell you something. But they had to play me at that time because that was the only time they could
Greg,
pay my money. That was during their
why don't we go up to your room?
Highlight of the whole social season. Yes, no, I can't think of it. I can tell you what it tasted like. It tasted like something you might sit in to remove a tattoo.
You're being very understanding, Sabrina.
You're a difficult man to stay mad at, Greg, especially since I've had this authenticated
I told you it was real.
and remarkably well preserved.
Well, the caves have a way of doing that sometimes.
Yes.
Champagne?
Thank you. I'm impressed.
That was the general idea.
But I must warn you, I only intend to have one glass. I want to remember every moment that we spend together.
Madam?
Thank you.
Sabrina, about the figurine. There's something I've got to tell you.
Actually, Greg, there's something that I've got to tell you.
Boy, talk about luxury. Even the doorman had somebody to open the door for him, right?
Yeah, and even he got a tip. Now that's what I call rich.
What? What the hell was that?
Didn't they explain it to you, senor, when you made your reservation? That the special rates in this wing only, due to the renovation.
Special rates!
Harry.
Senor, where are you going? I didn't turn your view yet, or your newspaper. You get one every day. Colt.
What?
Look at this.
That's in Spanish.
Oh, the picture.
What's it say?
Playboy found dead in hotel room or something like that. I was a Spanish major at Fresno State.
That's Greg Kaminsky, all right, and he definitely has been killed.
What do we do?
You call Terry and fill her in. You come with me.
Senor Severs, I'm sorry. I wish I had more to give you, but a maid found Kaminsky's body yesterday morning. And that's it.
You must have some idea when he was shot.
Well, the coroner said that he'd been dead for 3 days.
3 days. Where was the maid those other nights?
Well, she was respecting the do not disturb sign. But finally she became nervous and decided she'd better go in.
Do you have any suspects?
No, not any. If the victim was a crook, down here, he was clean all the way.
What about his partner?
Senor Ross. Now there's a man we would like to speak to, if we could find him.
You mean you guys can't find him?
No, Kaminsky was the only one that could do that. They spent a lot of time together going to all the hot spots, but suddenly Senor Ross dropped out of sight.
Well, I don't blame you for being frustrated, Lieutenant. I'm beginning to know how you feel.
Yeah, I told you, I don't have much information.
You'd be surprised. Thanks, Lieutenant.
You're welcome.
I don't want to seem dumb, Colt. What do you mean he'd be surprised?
Well, didn't the newspaper say something about a woman being with Kaminsky the last time he was seen alive?
Yeah, it did. Sanchez didn't even mention it. This guy knows more than he's telling us.
That's right. And I wonder why.
This is Miguel. I just had some visitors asking about Kaminsky and Ross. I better talk to her myself. Do you have Sabrina's number?
Colt Severs, 3. Reservations.
Hey, those must be the 3 we're looking for.
Colt Severs.
George Goebel.
Right.
I knew we had to see your show the minute I heard you were in town.
Yeah. Well, who's your friend?
Howie might have Colt's partner.
This is Jody Banks. He's also my partner.
Well, I hope someday when I'm back in Hollywood, I get a chance to work with you. You. Did Colt tell you about the time he doubled for me on my last TV special?
No, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, well, see you later, Colt. Jody. I have to get back up there and titillate their risibilities.
About the table you were leading us to.
You saw how close my buddy George and I are.
Well, at least we've got Kaminsky's death certificate, and at least Terry's going to be off the hook for him.
Yeah, but we still got to find Ross.
Yeah, Colt, we seem to be attracting a lot of attention.
That's what I was counting on. Make the same rounds that Ross did. Hope we run into somebody that can move us.
Real tough assignment. Miss?
George Gobble!
So naturally, I decided the best thing to do was build my own television set. And the way it happened, I saw this big full-page ad in the newspaper. It says, build your own television set. Save half the cost. I'm down there on a dead run.
Tell my two friends I'll signal them when I want a distraction, and naturally I'll pay for all the damages.
Not really simple.
But of course.
It was cleared up.
Oh, thank you very much, Senorita.
Easy to follow, 850-page booklet. Now, the first 600 pages is devoted entirely to telling you how simple it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I could be so clumsy. The least I could do is buy you another drink. Excuse me.
Only if you'll share it.
Really? I shouldn't. But I suppose it wouldn't be polite if I were just to spill and run, would it?
No, here, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, Sabrina Caldwell.
Jody Banks.
Howie Munson. Colt Seavers.
Hi.
You live here in Acapulco?
No, San Francisco. I was in Puerto Vallarta, but not much was happening there, so I decided Acapulco was a place to come.
I bet you've met a lot of people here already, huh?
A few. In fact, you remind me of one. I call him the New York Cowboy.
New York Cowboy. What's his name?
Nobody you'd know. A man named Don Ross.
There's the signal. You heard me. It just isn't fair. Two beautiful women at one table, and it isn't even ours.
Well, I think we ought to do something about that.
I think you're right.
Come on, beautiful. You're at the wrong table.
Will you please let go of my arm?
I said, come on.
Should you stay with your friends? Oh.
We're fine. Let's go someplace quieter.
She should be. She's a $1,000 dog, but she ought to be $1,000. You're with one. Watch out, man. What the hell are you doing?
Thank you, James. You know, Sabrina, when you mentioned someplace quieter, I didn't think you'd come up with something like this.
Actually, this house belongs to some friends. We let them use our place on Russian Hill, and they let us use this.
We?
James and I.
Ah. You know, James, you set a hell of a table.
Oh, I'd have wept if you hadn't approved, sir.
James, I think we could use some more wine now.
As you wish, madam. But I think it a waste.
He's a bit irascible, but at least he cares about me.
No, I wouldn't think it'd be difficult for you to find men to care about you.
There are men, and there are men. I suppose that's the reason why I travel so much. I'm looking for the right one.
Like your New York Cowboy.
Don? No, not Don.
You know, when you said his name, it rang a bell with me. I knew a Don Ross in L.A. He used to hang around a set of a picture I was working on.
That's Don, all right. Going for the glamour.
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing him again if you knew where he was.
I'll think of it as a favor for a new friend.
You know, Sabrina, I'm really glad I met you.
So am I, Colt. The last thing I should be talking about to you is another man.
Hey, buenas noches.
That remains to be seen.
What the hell are you two doing here?
Oh, well, the maitre d' told us where to find Sabrina.
Yeah, once we got to know him, he turned out to be a real nice cellmate.
Cellmate?
Don't worry, the Mexican bail bonds authorities were real friendly.
You missed a great fight. But don't worry, we'll tell you all about it.
Jody, now is not the time. I do not care to hear about it, okay?
Sure, it's the time. We could go out.
It's okay. Go ahead. I'll see you soon.
That's a promise I'm going to hold you to.
Sure.
Well, that's not like you, Sabrina. Letting somebody get away.
Well, you didn't exactly help matters any. Acting like you wish the man was dead.
Oh, that man's trouble. We don't need any more of that.
You heard what Sanchez told me. Colt's a bounty hunter.
There are more things at stake than the price on Russ's head.
And from what I could find out, Colt doesn't have a glimmering of what it's all about.
Well, let's hope he doesn't, huh? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if he found out about the gold?
We can't have another great Kaminsky on our hands.
Darling, I've been in this business a lifetime. I do know what I'm doing.
I don't doubt that a minute. But do you remember when we were in Rome? You know, you've got to have a little bit of faith in me as well.
If there's one thing in this world I have faith in, it's you.
Still, what are we going to do?
Well, I suggest we get this thing over as quick as possible.
And put the bottle away.
Yes, Mother.
Colt, don't be mad.
Yeah, we were busy working while you were having a good time.
Just to set the record straight, that wasn't strictly pleasure. Sabrina knows Ross. She also knows more than she's saying.
You mean that?
Why else would she be trying to get information from me when I was trying to get what I could out of her? And what's so important that you two shanghaied me away anyway?
Oh, no particular reason. Just that we know where Ross is.
What?
Yeah, George Goebel got hauled off to jail with us. While we were waiting for bail, we showed him that picture.
He recognized both Ross and Kaminsky from some millionaire's party.
They were so glad to meet him that they wanted to cut him in on their treasure deal.
What treasure?
From a lost Spanish treasure trove.
Ross swore that he knew where the conquistadors hid the gold they looted from the Incas.
All he and Kaminsky needed was a little more money to outfit their expedition. Come on, that's the oldest con in the book.
Well, that's why Mr. Goebel didn't go in on it. But there were a lot of other people who were interested.
So where's this put Ross now?
Up in the mountains, Colt, at the conquistadors' trove.
In other words, you're telling me all we gotta do to get Ross is to look somewhere out there.
Well, I guess we could have pinpointed it a little bit better.
Edward, Sam, I can't tell you both how much I was looking forward to this day.
Oh, we wouldn't miss it for the world, Sabrina. Just think. A chance to see a treasure that has been unknown to men for over 500 years.
You did bring the letters of credit.
Of course. Drawn on our Swiss bank.
Miss Caldwell?
Yes, so this is Mr. Frenzy and Mr. Billings.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm to take you to Mr. Ross.
And I'm sure we'll have a very enjoyable trip.
What is this?
My orders are principles only.
I don't think you quite understand. I go wherever Miss Sabrina goes.
Yeah, let's go.
How do we know they're heading for Ross?
Only one way to find out. pair in sight.
Hey, Colt, what made you think that Sabrina and her friends aren't out for a pleasure cruise?
Oh, don't worry, they're not.
How do you know that?
They took James, didn't they? I met James. Believe me, he's no pleasure.
Miss Caldwell, gentlemen, I'm glad that we could finally get together.
Oh, I think I see something down on the left.
Yeah, it looks like the helicopter's getting ready to land. That's Ross. Okay, let's close the gap.
The hell are those?
What the bloody fools doing? They think they're in World War II? Why is Ross warning us away?
It's not us he's worried about!
Well, Ross surely knows we're here now.
The question is, what's he gonna do about it?
Keep the fire low. Keep them low.
And that's what he's gonna do about it.
He's playing for keeps.
Now what do we do?
Evasive action.
You're hit!
I can see that.
Both of you follow me down.
Hurry up, I'm losing altitude fast.
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Hurry, hurry, he's going in!
Nice going, Howie. That's one I owe you.
Get him, Reynolds.
I hate these things.
The only thing we should get is out of here.
There are some treasures a man can do without.
Howie, pull me out of here.
I'm trying, Colt.
No! No, you'll kill him! You'll kill him!
My friends want to leave! And so do I!
I've got my order.
I don't think you quite understand. When the lady wants to leave, she leaves, right?
Thank you, James. The nice man will take us home now.
Yeah, okay.
Turning away. That may be two I owe you.
Well, at least now we definitely know where Ross is.
Yeah, in a mountain stronghold surrounded by guards. Colt, how are we ever going to get at them?
I'll figure out something. That's after I've worked out how to explain about that missing ultralight.
I hope you'll forgive the intrusion. The lock was really no problem.
Colt, I was so worried.
Worried you tried to kill me.
Save you mean? And because Sabrina tried to save you, we botched the whole thing.
Botched what?
Oh, it's not as bad as all that, James.
I knew these people were trouble the moment I laid eyes on them.
Trouble? What do you mean, trouble?
I'm sorry, Colt. We're just trying to do our job.
Damn it, Sabrina, will you explain just what the hell is your job?
We're manhunters, just like you. You can check us out with Lieutenant Sanchez.
Not just like me. You guys are living in a palace and we're just under construction here.
We work for big companies, governments, anybody who wants someone or something tracked down.
And right now, it's the Mexican National Museum.
The Mexican National Museum? Why?
It seems Kaminsky and Ross got into a vault and made off with a fortune in Incan gold.
And the stolen goods are so recognizable that Ross can't really sell them on the open market. So that's why he's using these things to salt his phony treasure trove.
You two are masquerading as investors to try and find out.
Right, except that the museum doesn't have enough ready cash to make Ross's deal.
That's where those two fellows with us come in, Ferenzi and Billings.
You mean they were going to invest too?
Yeah, it's the only way we could get Ross to show us the site.
That way, if we saw all the gold, we can make our move.
But thanks to you, we can't get him to go near the place.
Sabrina, according to the reports, a woman was involved in Kaminsky's death.
I was there, Colt, but I didn't kill Greg. In fact, I think he was going to tell me the truth about what he and Ross were doing.
Come on, why would he do that?
I played my part too well. He fell in love with me. He was shot before he could say anything.
By Ross?
I think so. I didn't stay around to find out.
Shootouts are so messy, don't you think?
Listen, Colt. If we keep blocking horns, we'll get nowhere. You want Ross, we want the gold. Why not work together?
Sabrina, suppose your new friend wants the gold too.
Look, I'll play it as straight as you will. How's that?
That's all we can ask for.
Looks like one thing is clear. We still have to figure out a way to get to Ross.
And we haven't got much time. He's having a meeting of potential investors in just 3 days.
If we don't get the full amount by then, we're out.
Well, somebody's got to get to work. Getting 2 scared investors back into the fold.
Acapulco, I wouldn't have wasted time anywhere else. Oh, well, who is this? You know, you don't find men like this in Palm Springs. Sam Billings, Edward Frenzy, this is Jody Banks.
Nice to meet you.
How do you do?
And that's one thing you're right about, Jody. You won't find men like these two anywhere else.
We better hurry, my dear. We don't want to miss the first match.
No, that's true.
Jody's really hammering it up. She called me Jeeves all the way here.
That would cheer up. Sabrina keeps telling me to polish the car.
Think they'll be able to get those guys to come around?
Well, if they don't, our 2 rich friends there sure are blind. It's not bad uniforms, you know. Get used to it.
The best thing about my country is the climate. But I recommend Switzerland for its taxes.
My problem is I want more than that. I want my little nest egg to grow.
Now, Sabrina, if you're talking about Don Ross's venture again.
It's a viable one, Edward. He has found old Incan gold.
Yes, but his concern with security has gone too far. Not only were those pilots behind us endangered, but we could have been killed.
After all my years with British intelligence, I'm rather suspicious. I like to know what's what.
And then Sabrina moves in for the catch.
Oh, why not? She's learned everything I've taught her, and then some.
We should at least give the man a chance. You just go and listen to him tomorrow.
I don't know.
Oh, Sam, please, let's just see what Ross found. I mean, the idea of lost treasure is just so romantic.
It's still a risk.
Some things are worth the risk, don't you think?
You know, Sabrina, lost treasure is romantic indeed.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
If she wants something, I've never known any man say no.
Does that include you?
Yes, especially me. Sabrina likes you. In fact, she even trusts you.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, I know that young lady. If she's got a job to do, she doesn't want any distractions.
Those 2 men, they're not right.
What do you mean?
It's Billings' cigars. I've got a lot of good whiffs of them lately.
No, they're not exactly Cuba's best, are they?
Yeah, well, that's the point. Here we are in a country where anybody can buy a hand-rolled Havana. Now, why would a millionaire smoke 2 for a dime?
Well, do you want the good news first or the bad news?
I could use some good.
I love working with an optimist.
Frenzy and Billings are ready to meet Ross, but just the 2 of us. There's no excuse for you to go.
That was the good news?
I must tell you, Sabrina, if I hear one gunshot...
We're not in the mountains now, Edward. Ross has much more conventional ways of protecting himself here.
I certainly hope so. Did he have to take a place so far out?
Well, maybe he likes dust.
I hope we can pin Ross down with our offer.
We'll make the best offer, Sabrina. Don't worry about that.
Too bad they don't make these things for stereo, huh?
As long as we can hear them, kid.
Oh, you'll hear it all right. This is the finest equipment available from my old friends at British Intelligence.
Just so nothing goes wrong, James, you understand?
My dear chap, I personally liberated this from MI5, or was it MI6? Anyway, nothing to worry about.
Perhaps we can get some music.
No, I don't think we need that.
Her voice.
Her voice.
It's coming from the speaker.
She's bugged. It's transmitting on FM. They're onto us.
What are we on to?
Shh. Sabrina's in trouble.
Rip that thing out. Get it out!
Who's listening to us? Who?
Oh, listen, it's all a mistake. We can explain. Well, why are you doing this?
Because they're not what they seem to be, Jody. They can't be.
Considering this, we got that in common. Remember the little statue you had? The appraiser's a friend of ours. Once we learned it was real, we set up the rest.
Your bug just went bust.
Oh, bloody British equipment. I knew I should have swiped it from the Japanese.
Let's get going.
You don't think I let anything happen to her, do you? Hold on!
This baby's supercharged.
Sabrina's car is following us.
James, maybe I should drive. It's what I do.
And this old chap is what I do. Where I come from, we consider James Bond a sissy.
Colt, I thought you drove crazy.
Me too.
No more! No more!
It may not have gone the way we figured, Colt, but I'm sure glad you're here.
Me too.
Colt, do you think they'll buy us as millionaires in place of those two clowns?
Why not? You spend my money like I'm a millionaire.
What's the worst that can happen if they don't?
Well, they shoot us.
I had to ask.
According to old Spanish records, a group of Coronado's men broke off from the main body in 1540. Now, convinced that the Incans had more gold than was claimed, these conquistadores, they went searching for where they thought it was hidden. What the record doesn't tell us about is what they found. Now, these are just some samples. What's in that cave? There are more chests, each filled with Incan treasure. Now, all I need is the heavy equipment to shore up the walls and bring it out.
Just how much money are we talking about for all this equipment?
Excuse me, you're Mr.
Senor Forense.
Oh, yes, Mr. Forense. I'm sorry about the other day. That was a terrible thing.
We were talking, were we not, about the salvage?
Well, you're not just paying for salvage. You're investing in the gold.
And how much is that worth, would you say?
It's priceless, Mr. Billings. It is a cultural find beyond compare.
On 7th Avenue, where I made my money, ladies ready to wear. Culture is something that you see on Sunday morning TV.
What my associate means, Mr. Ross, is that while culture is indeed a wonderful thing, there's a natural concern for what we may say the...
Bottom line.
Millions of dollars are involved here, Mr. Forense. Millions. That is why that I'm willing to give all of you this chance to climb on board. I'd like in for $500,000.
You'd better include another $250,000 for me.
Excuse me, Don. Mr. Frenzy and Mr. Billings and I are still not interested in sharing what you found.
Yes, Mr. Ross. We would like it all.
You heard some of the offers for just a piece of this. The amount of money that we're talking about is astronomical.
Why do you think Mr. Forense banks in Switzerland?
10,000 barrels of oil per day can produce quite a cash flow.
Well, I'd have to see some proof of that.
I'm sure this will do.
Well, your bank certainly has a lot of faith in you, Mr. Forense. I hope we can learn to trust each other just as well.
We all will, after we've seen the treasure.
You gentlemen relax for a while. This is where the first chest was. The others are right in there.
Look at that.
Yeah, he was right. There's really a fortune in there.
We know what we've been after, Jody.
Everything you see is the genuine article.
It sure looks genuine enough.
I'm quite sure all the stuff is 16th century, but I doubt if it's been in the cave more than 2 or 3 months.
What are you talking about?
What are you saying, Mr. Ross? Your little charade is over.
So is ours.
These pieces are from the National Museum. They're what you and Kaminsky stole.
Greg couldn't have told you. I made sure of that.
You mean the night you shot him?
What the hell difference would that make to you? The gun. Let's see it hit the ground.
I can think of a much better place for it to hit, but some other time, huh?
Maybe Greg was right. Maybe we should have just melted everything down and gotten out. You, over there with the cake. Stay there. Move!
Radio, try to raise the police. I'm going after him on the motorcycle.
I'll follow you in the truck.
going to be busy.
You do good work, Severs.
You weren't so bad yourself, ma'am. Of course, I did have some excellent help.
Right.
Here's something we and the Mexican National Museum have absolutely no interest in.
You've got the court record. Your job's done.
And you got the Inca gold. That takes care of yours.
Yeah, it'll take a week or so before we bring everything up and... Well, James and I go off to London. They want us to, solve some kind of a train robbery. I wish you'd come with us, Colt.
You're the woman no man can say no to.
I mean everything I say to you.
I wish I could go with you. But I got a career to get back to. Besides, you wouldn't be happy on a half acre or a back lot. Well, James is right about you, Sabrina. You've got to be free.
I'm gonna miss you.
I miss you too. Well, James, goodbye and thank you.
Goodbye, Colt.
Let's go, troops.
Bye, James. Bye, Sabrina.
Thanks a lot. Bye. Boy, you sure made him jealous, Colt. What do you think their relationship is, anyway?
It's better this way, darling.
I know, Dad. I know.